KSMO Studios at 1340 AM and 95.7 and streaming online at KSMOradio.com. We have a new guest in town, and we'd like to welcome and greet Mr. Wayne Reid, our new Chief Executive Officer at the Salem Memorial District Hospital. Sir, first off, thanks for coming to Salem, and it's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure so far.
You officially got started
Monday morning.
And how has it been? A roller coaster?
It has been fast and furious. We've done lots of things. I've been in lots of meetings, met lots of people,
Sure.
Learned lots of new folks, and got to see some really bright people and talented folks that are committed to what they do.
Well, this hospital is a great asset to our community, and I feel you're going to be fitting right in because we had a little conversation before we came on the air. We're having some fun with it, and it's good that we have somebody coming in who's just down to earth and really just wants to have a real good relationship with the community as well as move this hospital in a forward direction.
Well, we're excited about that. As we were driving around, my wife and I looking, it is clear that this is a vibrant community. It's not huge, but it's a vibrant community, and it deserves great health care. And we have a great start to that. At Salem, we've got a good history for that. We just need to make sure that we continue that history and that we continue to do the good work that we've done, and we just figure out how we can expand that to do it for more folks.
Tell us a little bit about your history, Wayne, if you wouldn't mind.
So I came, when I joined the Air Force, I took the ASVAB, and they said, you can do anything in the Air Force. And I said, fine, I just don't want to work on the flight line. Please don't put me on the flight line, and don't put me in a hospital because I like people too much to see them sick. And they said, don't worry, Mr. Reid. And so they put me in the Air Force, they shaved my head, and they made me an X-ray tech. So now I'm an X-ray tech, and now I didn't know what I was going to do. I'd just gotten married, so I was certain that I was never going to see my wife again because I knew that hospital people worked all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say that's probably what saved my marriage of 40 years is because I was right. I've been away a lot because we spend a lot of time in the hospital, but that's allowed her to put up with me for 40 years.
Well, it's a good thing, and then maybe not a good thing. But anyway, it's been a great 40 years, hasn't it?
It has been wonderful. God's pretty good at figuring out where you're supposed to be. I'm a man of faith, and I know that He put me there because that's what I'm supposed to do.
So I believe you came over from Virginia area?
Yep, I was in West Virginia. Charleston, West Virginia. Was at a small long-term acute care hospital there where we took care of people who were just not healing well. So we needed to get those folks better. So I saw super acute people, and now we're going to go back to the normal acute care hospital and take this hospital where it needs to go.
So before you made a decision to apply for this job, did you research the Salem Hospital a little bit?
Yeah, I saw that there had been some struggles recently, and I will say that the board has done a great job of sort of taking control of that and to make sure that the hospital was in a sound footing. I will say that it has been an exciting last couple of days, but I know that they've been through a pretty sketchy, tough past here in the last few months.
Yeah, your initial impression when you came to Salem Hospital and saw that their new MRI and 3D mammography machine, and you're sitting there going, you guys are, I don't know how you're struggling. You seem to have all brand new equipment.
You have all the stuff.
You have everything.
Well, we're about to get a new CT scanner here
Right.
in the next couple of months, so we've got all the pieces to. And my background obviously is radiology, so
that's why I said you had to be excited.
All those toys are neat. I will say that our intrepid radiology director has tried to get me to come back. I said, no, you don't want me doing that right now.
So Bobby's been pushing.
Bobby has been welcoming, and he is a great asset to the facility.
I'm sure you and him have had some war stories already.
Not yet.
No.
I've had war stories with other people.
Yeah.
He and I have not really had a chance to connect well yet.
But
I'm looking forward to it.
And I know that the next couple of weeks is just going to be meeting after meeting and trying to, get yourself well acquainted with the hospital staff, personnel, and the different things, and then put together kind of a nice philosophy for the hospital.
Well, I will say that not only that, we when you come into any organization, there are immediate needs, and over the last couple of days, we've had some immediate needs. I had the opportunity yesterday to go and meet with several of the pharmacists in the area just to make sure that we were providing the services that we needed to them from the clinic so that we could make sure that they had the information in a timely manner so that we could do refills for our patients. And we worked through some issues with that starting Monday afternoon and have already done some things with that all the way through today. So, you have to hit the ground running. There's not a whole lot of time in this job to sort of get acclimated.
can't get your feet wet and then kind of crawl from the shallow into the deep end. You just kind of get pushed right into the deep end right off the
Or
bat.
they'll
don't
pull
they?
you in.
Yeah.
Either one or the other.
And Don Babb and the group that they've done a fantastic
They have
job.
done miraculous
And I'm
work.
sure they're working well with you to get you acclimated as easy as possible.
Yeah, they have done. They did miraculous work. I will say that that it was a good move on the board to get the support that they did. I will say that it has been a blessing to come in and have a group of people that already have a really good handle on who all the personnel are, what the opportunities are, we're beginning to start to form a strategic plan already in the last 48 hours about where we want to push the facility towards, and so it has been a blessing to have those folks that already have that as a resource that I can come in and call on. Not a lot of independent rural hospitals have that.
No, and putting together all the data that you're accumulating right now, and then you're going to have to sort it out and figure out exactly what direction to go in. But that's where the RHG group has really helped you out, I'm sure, because they said, okay, this is what we've done, this is what we've done, this is what we've changed. That way you don't have to try and go rediscover the egg.
Nope, we don't have to do that at all. And in fact, I've had two of those folks here since I got here. We've got two more people that are going to come in. Trent will be here this afternoon. Daryl will be here this afternoon. So we're going to go to dinner tonight and have conversations about what I've seen, what they've seen, sort of work together to start developing a plan that we'll present to the board and that we'll work through with the providers and with the rest of the team. I've talked to Hannah. Hannah. I've talked to Hannah about putting together a leadership retreat for next week so that we can bring the folks together and start talking about how we've had a little tough patch. But now we need to pick our eyes up and look down the road and figure out where we're going.
Yeah, small town hospitals, especially in rural Missouri, as you may have, as you in your research found out, that a lot of them have closed. And this is one of the things that was really kind of scaring us here in Salem when our hospital kind of fell on hard times a little bit. Is we really can't afford to have that happen because this community, as you mentioned, vibrant as it is, it needs that hospital and the services they provide because for us to thrive, that hospital has to be the leader of the pack.
Yeah, so I will say that not just in Missouri, but around the country, lots of hospitals, and particularly rural hospitals, have closed over the last 5 years. It's getting increasingly difficult to operate a facility. It's increasingly difficult with the demands on us from all our payer sources to be able to not just turn a profit, but just to stay solvent. It's a very difficult thing. And so you cannot do that by doing what you did yesterday for the next 5 years. You're going to have to find new things and new approaches to running your business so that you can find out how we're going to be able to meet the needs of our communities into the future.
Evolving, I guess, might be the best way. You can't sit still and say, well, we did this last year and it worked great. You have to look to next year. You have to see what's coming up, and technology changes so fast.
Yeah, a leader I respect in another role I was in said that today is the slowest pace that healthcare will ever be. Any day that you're talking about today will be the slowest pace that healthcare will ever be because tomorrow will be faster, and that has been true.
So, in your short time here in Salem, obviously you've had a chance to get around, meet some crucial people that are in the community as well, and I'm sure you're going to meet a lot more here in the next few days. Do you have a little time off on Labor Day, or are you going to stay right here and chug through?
Well, I'm going to be here over the weekend. I hear there's a rodeo coming up this weekend.
There is,
so
a
my
big
intention
rodeo.
is I'm trying to trick my wife into coming down for the weekend. She's still trapped in West Virginia, but maybe trick her into coming in for the weekend, and we'll go to the rodeo, and then get a little apartment here, set that up while we're getting ready to move, and and then I'll probably spend a fair amount of time on the laptop getting ready for that leadership retreat, making sure that things are moving.
And Saturday and Sunday is a rodeo, by the way, 7:30 out at the Commons. And I don't know if you know where the Commons is yet.
Yeah, I know where the Commons are.
Okay, because
AJ
you drive by it every day.
I go by it every day. I've shown my wife where the Commons is.
Yeah, I wanted to make Wayne and Mr. Reid has already found a place in town to move to, which is great, and it's a little bit on the east side, but it's fantastic that you realize right now everything is new, and you see everything. Here in about another month and a half, 2 months, you'll probably just cruise right on through, not even notice things, but on your way to work. But I do appreciate that you're taking the time to see where some of these things are, because people really do need to know their community when they come in, and really in the case of the hospital, it's very important to know what the assets are in your community and what you may have strategies to improve those assets or services to those,
or at least support them.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I was amazed whenever I interviewed here and was taken around and was shown the assets that you have. You have a phenomenal school system here. The Armory is an amazing facility. You would never have thought that would be in a location this size. The Commons area looks like a great place for community events. I'm excited about looking for that. I have met folks who are on the chamber, so I'm excited about getting involved in the chamber. And one of the things that when we moved to Nashville, Tennessee, which is one of the finest cities in America.
Right. We love Nashville. Nice place.
We moved 45 minutes away from there because we moved to a small town in Ashland City because we like small towns.
Sure.
When I moved to Charleston, we moved 45 minutes away. We moved to just outside of Milton and Barbersville.
Okay.
So we moved to a rural place. One of my important things was to make sure that you all had an appropriate diner for breakfast on Saturday mornings, and you do. So those are the sort of things that we like. Moving my skid steer around, grading my driveway, chainsaw therapy.
Just starting to feel right at home, aren't you?
Yep. Like
and that's really has to be a big part of it. Well, one of the reasons why Mr. Reid is here is to talk about a meet and greet next week on Wednesday. It's going to be held out at the SMDH campus.
Yes.
Now, if it should rain, they're going to move it to the community center at the Armory, where it doesn't look like rain right now. So right now the forecast looks
so good.
dry. It looks good. And at 11 o'clock, they're going to have the whole hog roast lunch that everybody is invited to.
And I hear there's an apple in everything for the whole hog.
There's nothing wrong with an apple.
There we go.
Because an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but it doesn't mean you don't go to see him because you need still checkups.
Seeing the doctor will help keep the doctor away.
Absolutely, it sure will. But the whole hog roast begins at 11, lasts till 2. I believe you and a number of
our providers
will be there, including Dr. Neely, who's just starting tomorrow, I believe, right?
He starts tomorrow. So I met him yesterday. So he starts tomorrow, so we'll have Dr. Neely, Dr. Bland, Dr. Al. Jimmy just started.
Sure, yeah, a couple weeks back. And back on August 1st, I believe, he started.
Yep.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of new people that are showing up here and adding to it. We have a couple of new nurse practitioners coming in a little bit later on. I think they're getting underway in October. One in October, one in November, if I'm not mistaken.
And we're talking about starting a weekend clinic there.
Very good. So you'll have an opportunity to talk and speak to the community at large. There's no charge to attend the meet and greet. It's absolutely free. It will be held near the Circle Drive, my understanding is, at the hospital. We have people remember the Circle Drive. And one of the things I think we need to do, Mr. Reid, is to get people acclimated to where the hospital entrance is again.
Yeah.
Now, when they moved it over by the emergency department, it wasn't the most favorite place to go, but people forgot about the Circle Drive, and that is how you really need to go in the hospital.
Yep, that's how you need to get there. But I'm looking forward to meeting people here. I've been around the community, all the way from the wonderful people at the hotel who've taken good care of me. I mean, you've got a phenomenal group of people here. I've been in other places where there were good people, but I will tell you that I think I've made a connection here with the people in Missouri.
Well, we'll have an opportunity to hear from you next Wednesday, and I'm sure a lot of people will be very interested to hear what you have to say. And always hearing from our practitioners and our doctors that we have. They do a great job.
They're the important people.
They're the lifeblood of the hospital. And very good. And, of course, we hope that everybody can make it out there. It's 11 to 2 o'clock next Wednesday at SMDH campus right near the Circle Drive. There'll be some speakers and stuff. I don't know if I have
a tent.
Yeah, probably. And I don't know if they have a podium up for you guys or not. I don't have really all the clues on that yet, but we're going to get all the dirt on that from Hannah. She'll fill us in on.
She'll tell me what I'm supposed to do.
There you go. Not necessarily what to say. Well, we do want to thank you again for coming in and introducing yourself to our listeners and to the community at large. And we look very forward to having you stay for many, many, many years and putting our hospital into the good graces of everybody around, increasing the branding and making it the true asset that it really is to our community.
It is a diamond.
It is. Thank you, Mr. Reid, for coming in. Wayne Reid, our new CEO of the Salem Memorial District Hospital, and we are going to come right back. We have civic happenings next.